Welcome back to Buckmore Park. The final race of the day is the Easykart Masters class, and the champion in waiting, Sam Dimolo, is looking to consolidate his championship lead after the champion of the previous 3 seasons failed to make an appearance at round 6.
He did indeed, and he's not here either. It's left a big hole in the championship fight. This is good news for Dimolo, who goes off row 2 here today at Buckmore Park. It's Richardson and Fisher on the front row, Yeomans and Dimolo, then Bredner, Lawrence, Rainbird Friday, Hodge and English in the top 10. The absence of Joe Patterson, though, is definitely going to give a few drivers a chance to go for glory. Stig Elboth, Jake White-Rowell, Fisher on the back, plenty to talk about. Here we go, and it's Joe Richardson into the lead straight off the bat. We ride on board with the championship leader, Sam Dimolo. That is the new boy in front of us, Roland Bredner. He only joined the championship at the last round of the series, and already he has made a big impression on this grid. Oh, we've got someone to our left. That's the 2-3-2 in front of us. That's Jim Rainbird. So Rainbird moving up. He is the leading grandmaster in the field, of course. There's 2 classes within this one race to a certain degree. Joe Richardson, though, leading the way in front of the 5 of Ben Yeomans. So Yeomans is running as the runner-up in the championship at the moment, but being in front of Dimolo is definitely going to give him something to smile about. Dimolo, though, is on the catch-up trail. Here he is. We're on board with him again, down to 6th position. Bredner and Rainbird have got past us on the last lap. Looks like Bredner's going for the top 3 up the road. Here we go again on board with Dimolo, holding on to that 6th position. He needs to gain some good ground here in terms of championship points. He leads the way, courtesy of the absence of Joe Patterson. He's got a good advantage here in front of Ben Yeomans, who runs 2nd in the points, of course. Down the hill, great onboard pictures from here. Sam Dimolo. You can see the way the shadow's forming over the circuit as well. It's very hot on this Buckmore Park circuit when the sun shines above the track. Temperatures can be a problem here. Second guessing what the tyres are going to do. It can catch out drivers. Blinding sunlight as well. We go into the shade in the first 2 corners, and then the sunlight comes back and hits us big style. Oh, Dimolo's got a problem! Dimolo's got a problem! Sam Dimolo's out of this race! That is the 2nd championship leader in 2 classes this weekend. Sam Dimolo has just blown the championship wide open. Well, I say wide open. He has got a big lead, but it's now up to Ben Yeomans. He's got to win this race now to get closer to him in the points table. If anybody can spare a retirement from this race, it is Dimolo, but that's really going to hurt him in terms of championship aspirations. He could have sealed it here, but now Yeomans has a chance to close up before we go to Wilton Mill. So all eyes now on the 5 of Yeomans in 2nd position. Yellow flags fly, of course, because of Dimolo's kart, stranded at the first hairpin. But it's Richardson who now leads. Yeomans in 2nd. Neil Fisher's up to 3rd. And this is going to be an interesting battle. Yeomans needs to be aggressive. He needs to attack. But Richardson is very, very good around this circuit. And he is not going to be beaten if he has even an inkling of a chance to get the job done. And he's currently leading. Fisher in 3rd position. Bredner in 4th. Rainbird in 5th. Here they come down the Sisley Straight once again. Richardson, Yeomans, Fisher. Bredner in front of Rainbird. And it looks to me as though Fisher's actually closing up on Yeomans a little bit. It's not what Yeomans needs here. He needs to close up on the leader, Joe Richardson. So Joe Richardson is not really in the title fight to a certain degree. That was a bit of a slice and dice moment there. As up to 4th position, Roland Bredner holds on to it in front of Rainbird. And that is George Friday now in 6th position. I was just going to go back to say Richardson is mathematically in the championship fight, although realistically he's a long way back from Sam Dimolo. 3rd in the points if he gets this race won. And it's feasible that, say for example, Dimolo doesn't score any points next time out. The only way that's going to happen is if he doesn't show up, really. Up the inside goes Fisher, takes a place off Yeomans. This is going to hurt Yeomans a chance. Up the inside, he tries to get there, but Fisher has got him fair and square. So Richardson is doing everything he needs to do to keep his championship fight alive, leading this race and getting maximum points from the final. Problems, though, for Yeomans if he slips down to 3rd position and stays there. He needs to get it back up the order. Bredner behind him in 4th place. I'm really impressed, to be fair, with Roland Bredner. He's done a great job since his first meeting of the season last time out. And he's right up in the top 6, and that's not just any grid we're talking about here. This is the Masters grid. Some very talented racing drivers in this field. But Bredner putting in a very strong performance here at Buckmore, wanting to get himself onto the podium. That would be a heartbreak moment for Yeomans if he managed to get that done, because that would be the championship as good as won for Sam Dimolo. Not done and dusted, of course, because mathematically Yeomans can still catch him. But, well, this would have been a very early party for Sam Dimolo if he had kept the cart going, because I think he would have wrapped up the championship if he had finished in the top 5. Big moment, though. It's not over. Fisher goes wide on the exit of the centre S's. And up Herbert Rise. Yeomans has got a chance to get him back. Not quite get the job done there. Up the inside of the first hairpin. Can he get that done? Friday is closing in on this gaggle of 4 carts in 6th position. And behind him, that is Mark Lawrence, the 9. So he's catching up with these boys as well. Through the S's, up towards Syme Sweep, down the drop, through Pullmans. And Richardson is absolutely in command of this race. He's got a good gap, actually, for these early stages of the race. 8 minutes and 40 on the clock. And as far as Richardson is concerned, this is now his race to lose. 2nd place, though, Fisher just hanging on. 3rd position, Yeomans has a little look up the inside, not going to make the overtaking move there. Too early in the race to be losing that kind of time. Up the inside, though, no problems for Bredner. Bredner goes up the inside. Don't you dare get past me. Oh, contact as McCulloch slices the door shut. Bredner gets back on the inside. Rainbird wasn't expecting him to be there, and he now falls back behind Friday and slots in just in front of Mark Lawrence. That was close. That very nearly ended up with all of them in the chicken house at the outside of the circuit. That could have been very nasty. And still, number 5, 3rd position, Ben Yeomans, running in 3rd place. Out of the Cafe Curve, Richardson flawless out in front. Fisher, Yeomans, Bredner, and then Friday in front of Rainbird, who's been caught out there. Down to 6th position goes Rainbird, but Sam Fisher running in 2nd position. Having a great run here at Buckmore Park. This will be his best finish of the year if he can stay here. Bredner, though, in 4th position, looks confident. Now that's Mark Lawrence in 7th position in the 9, trying to get himself into the top 6. In front of the 2:33 of Sam Fisher. Oh, and that's Yeomans running wide! Up the inside! Beautiful move from Roland Bredner. He took perfect advantage of that. And the one smiling at the moment, despite the fact, well, he wouldn't have been smiling earlier on, but now Sam Dimolo will be going very, very wide-eyed here, because he's got a chance here. Technically, if Yeomans stays down in 4th position, it would be almost impossible for Sam Dimolo to lose the championship. He'd basically have to show up at Wilton Mill, and then the job would be done. George Friday's reeling in Yeomans as well now. This is turning into a bit of a nightmare for Yeomans. He needs to get back on the podium, and he needs to do so quickly. Bredner, meanwhile, never mind the podium, he just wants 2nd place now. He's got 3rd. He's got where he wants to be. He wants to go one further, though. Joe Richardson out in front, 6 minutes and 30 on the clock. It's another drive in the countryside for him. Going well through that first couple of corners. Let's see if Bredner can get one over on the man in 2nd place, Fisher. He's set him up nicely. Not quite close enough to go for the lunge, though. Out of that 2nd hairpin, through the S's. And there is again Lawrence closing up on Rainbird to try and get through. I think if Yeomans stays where he is, there's no chance for him to win the championship now. And that's up to 2nd place. It's gone. He's gone through Bredner, and it looks as though Yeomans is trying to get back through with him. I'm not sure this is going to be good enough for Yeomans. He knows he's got to win this race, really, to catch Sam Dimolo, and he's seeing his dreams of becoming champion in 2016 disappear. Up the inside again goes Fisher, though. He takes Bredner back. Yeomans is there or thereabouts. Can he go around the outside? He's got to cover Friday to his left, and he does so he holds on to 4th position behind Bredner. Fisher's still 2nd. Ben Yeomans has been so consistent this year, only been off the podium once in a final this year. And still, Fisher holding on to that 2nd position. Here comes Yeomans up the inside, back to 3rd position. Will he get there? Bredner's still to his left. Yeomans holds on, but he's got Friday to his left as well. He slots back into 4th position. All of this is making it almost impossible for Yeomans to consider the victory. Richardson is disappearing. I'm just crunching the numbers up here in the commentary box. Unfortunately, it looks to me as though even if Yeomans could get past these two, even if he could get past Richardson, as up the inside of Friday goes Rainbird and takes the place, even if Yeomans could get back into the lead here, I think the earlier work in the heats by Sam Dimolo, even with his retirement in this final, I think Yeomans is just going to fall short, and not by much either. It's going to be heartbreaking when he comes home, but for Sam Dimolo, he can breathe easy. He's going to rest very nicely tonight at the end of this if it stays like it is. Yeomans in 4th position. Here comes Friday back up the inside. We switched back at the wrong moment there, really. Can he get through? No. Friday has to hold on behind Rainbird, and he's got problems of his own behind him. So Friday is, a little bit scary there as Friday and Lawrence nearly losing it behind Sam Fisher. Fisher having popped through to close up on Friday. Here's Fisher in front of Bredner and Yeomans. Then it's Rainbird, Friday, Sam Fisher, and then Mark Lawrence at the back of the queue. Very close battles between these 8 drivers all the way through from 2nd back to 9th. And again, Bredner has a look. Not quite close enough to do anything about it. Yeomans just needs to sit tight and let it happen. Here goes Bredner through to 2nd position. Nice move. And Yeomans has got himself right in the firing line. Up to 3rd position. Can he get there? Side by side with Fisher. Fisher hangs it on the outside and keeps the pace. Nearly goes side by side with Bredner. Downside sweep. And Bredner holds on to that 2nd position. Rainbird now safe and secure in 5th position, closing up on these 3 if he can. Friday, Sam Fisher and Mark Lawrence close in behind. Yeomans again tries out of the S's to go up Herbert Rise, through Cafe Curve and onto the Sisley Straight. Joe Richardson a million miles ahead in karting terms. Friday moving to try and get past Rainbird, can't get there. Sam Fisher swarming all over him. And Mark Lawrence is actually dropping back a little bit. That won't keep him happy. Now, Rainbird is trying to drag onto the back of Yeomans once more, and he's taking Friday with him. Sam Fisher's trying to stay with these 2 as well. Mark Lawrence is close, but not quite close enough to threaten yet. 2.5 minutes on the clock though, so I don't think this battle is done. Roland Bredner though, best of the rest in this race. Joe Richardson is not in there, not in the same race as them at the moment. There he is. He's the full length of the Sisley Straight in front of the field now. Such has been his dominance in this one. And again, that's just a case of Joe Richardson being in the lead when the 2nd position battle kicked off. His pace has been fairly similar to these guys once they've stopped battling, but it's that squabble. That's what holds people up. You lose 5 to 6/10 of a second per corner once you start squabbling, and that's enough to let the leader get away and hide. And that is what has given Joe Richardson this victory on a silver platter. So again, this may not be a battle for the title anymore. I don't think Yeomans is going to be in touch with Dimolo go the final round, but with Richardson so far out in front and Yeomans struggling to get into the podium positions again, 2nd position in the championship very much up for grabs. Joe Richardson has got himself 2 victories in a row if he holds on to this. He won the last round, and he's going to win this one if he stays where he is, setting himself up for a very nice run at Wilton Mill for 2nd in the championship if he can overhaul Ben Yeomans. There is Yeomans, trying to get back into the podium. He's knocking down the door as much as he can, but he's running out of time to make that move. Roland Bredner running very well in 2nd place. Neil Fisher attacking beautifully in 3rd. But he wants to get that 2nd position. That would be his best result of the year if he can get there. 2 laps to go, 1 minute to go. Yeomans can't get close enough. Up the inside goes Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher going for 5th position. I think he's made that work. We look back, yes, he is there in 5th place now. And they've got a slower kart in front of them, the 2nd place battle. Now, getting through the traffic is going to be critical. It's Clayton Pearce, and he gets out of the way beautifully. No problems at all. So the field not even balked as they come through. Blue flags continue to fly for Clayton Pearce. That's causing a bit of an issue, though. They caught him at the wrong part of the circuit to get through him quickly. Joe Richardson leading the way nicely, but the 2nd place battle is now just these 3. 5th position is Friday once again. I'm not sure where he managed to get back past, but Friday's back in a 5th as we go into the penultimate lap. So we have got an extra lap in the bag. This battle's still raging. Is there going to be a dicey move for 2nd position from Fisher on this lap? He's got space. He's not quite close enough though. So down the Symes sweep once again into Pullman's. Joe Richardson looked like he lost a little bit of time in the traffic. His lead is slightly smaller, but he doesn't need to worry about it. He's just driving serenely out in front. He could lose another 2 or 3 seconds really and still have this race won. Out of the final turn, down the straight one more time. The gap is definitely less than it was, but it's not a pressure cooker for Joe Richardson. He is the fastest man on the track. Up the inside, here we go, Fisher's going for it. Can he get the move done on Bredner in this final lap? I think that was his best chance, and now Fisher goes wide. Yeomans putting his hand in the air. What are you doing? You're blocking me, that's what you're doing, so now I've got to go for glory in the final couple of corners. Joe Richardson, though, is going to take the victory. No problem at all for him. The 7 is going to win this race. Second place for Bredner. Done and dusted. And Yeomans is going for third position on the final lap. They rub wheels, smoke pouring off the tyres. Richardson wins it. Bredner second. Who's going to be third? No idea who got that one. That's going to be a photo finish for third position. And critical in the fight for the second position in the championship too. We're fairly sure Dimolo's got it won. Who was third across the line? It's Yeomans just in front because Neil Fisher was given a 2-place penalty. Friday then is fourth from Sam Fisher. Neil Fisher, Dr. Sixth from Rainbird, Lawrence, Hodge and Elboth. But Joe Richardson, a dominant winner.
Just tell me a little bit about your final.
To be honest, I didn't really know what was going on behind me. I started and I could swear I could hear someone else's engine behind me. And I looked behind me after about lap 10. I couldn't see anyone. There was no car, massive gap. So I thought, here we go, we can calm down now and just cruise around. So I did that.
Absolutely, yeah. I saw a little bit of showboating on the last couple of laps, definitely. That's typical your style, Joe. Joe, listen, well done. Great race, brilliant. You've dominated the day. Can you just tell me, I know your girlfriend's with you here today. Can you tell me how many of your family and friends are here as well?
I think it's about 10 or 11 or something. We even had the postman from my work come and support, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, it's cool though. So yeah.
Okay, the postie from work and about 10 or 11 family members as well. They're all scattered around somewhere. Here they are at the front. I'm sure they're all pleased. And I think I think you should thank somebody who's looked after you.
No, of course, yeah, my dad mainly, because he gets the kart going properly rather than just turning up and participating. Yeah, exactly. He knows what he's doing. He's done it for years and years, so it's all good.
Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to John Richardson and congratulations to you, Joe. Well done indeed. We'll see you at Wilton Mill. See if you can make it 3 out of 3.
So Richardson closes up on Yeomans for second in the championship. Dimolo is pretty much uncatchable though at the top. Fisher, Beryl Smith and Friday round out the top 6. Sam Dimolo, barring the worst nightmare in history, is pretty much confirmed as the 2016 champion in Easykart Masters. The series concludes though at Wilton Mill next time out, and we'll be there filming every lap of every final. See you then.